My name is Steve, the Affordable Life Coach. If you're interested, my email is in the description. Consultation is free. Have you ever dealt with people that are contrarians, that they're always trying to pick apart what you say or who you are or what you believe or the values that you hold, and they feed on your reaction to this? I was watching a video of a city council meeting, and there was one black woman who was criticizing, judging, and trying to debase another city council member who was a black man. And instead of being proud that he was representing his community, he didn't have the same ideological beliefs. And it's really not about skin color. It's about ideology, because they even called Larry Elder, who ran for governor in California, who's a black man. What did the LA Times say? He is the black face of white supremacy. And it's gotten so out of hand that the word racism doesn't even mean anything anymore because it's used ad nauseum. And what this woman was doing to this man was trying to disregard him, trying to tell him because he doesn't check all of her racial profile boxes that he is not qualified or his opinion isn't valid. And she was just going at him like, she started off and she said, "How do you identify?" And people, this has gotten so insane, this identity politics. People need to wake up. It's coming from top down. They're trying to conquer and divide us. If we focus on being divided against each other, the real powers that be can do whatever they want. And it is very disheartening to see how many people, gullible people, fall for this whole identity politics of this conquer and divide strategy. All you have to do is look at history, and you can see the best way to conquer a people is to divide them. Find something to divide them: class division, race division, uh, religion, color of skin, the country you come from, the language you speak. We're all different on a superficial way, but at our core, we're all part of the human race. We all come from the great, 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 great grandmother of Adam and Eve. We all have a connection to each other. And if we focus on the superficial, shallow things, we are doomed. And it's incredible how people fall for this hook, line, and sinker. And then it just creates conflict between people who have the same struggles, the same challenges, the same obstacles, the same frustrations, the same familial challenges, the same challenges of, even with how expensive everything's getting, just putting food on the table and paying bills and just grinding out a living. Life can be challenging. We don't need to add additional things on top of it that make us feel divided. And I was just had a wonderful interaction with a black woman. And we were cordial, we were nice, she was warm, she was friendly. I asked her a question, she was very helpful. And that's what I find more often than not, that we're more connected than we are divided. But you notice, look at the people who propagate and perpetuate this division. look at what their ultimate agenda is. Their agenda, as I say, it's all driven by three motivations: money, power, and control. And when you can divide people, you can extract, when you can cancel and censor and divide people, and you're not getting power, money, and control, it doesn't happen. Everything is about money, power, and control. I didn't say that too eloquently, but when you look at someone who is trying to conquer and divide us and use superficial metrics, look at what their agenda is. You will inevitably find that they want more money, more power, and more control. That's how I wanted to say that. And if you can't see that, you're being blindsided, and then you get sucked in to their attacks on you. Don't take it. Don't take the bait. And it was a black woman who was criticizing a black man in a city council meeting, and he took the bait because she got him to be defensive. And she says, well, you're not, she said, how do you identify? And he said, I identify as American. I got to the position I am by representing the people, my district, or whoever the community he represents, and hard work and effort and providing value to the community that elected him. And that wasn't good enough for her. Well, where did you grow up? You had a cushy, easy life. And now she's trying to demean him, belittle him, take away the value he has because it's not in the politics is not in alignment with her politics. And had he been in alignment, been on the far left, had he been someone on the far left, she wouldn't have criticized him like that. But this is what they do when you don't agree with what they say. And this goes for both sides on the left and right. They, but more so on the left when it comes to the superficial, the color of your skin, where you grew up, and all these just nonsense things. And I know some people watching this video say, no, those things are very important. Okay, they are important, but at what point do we let them go? Are we going to cling to superficial identity politics for the rest of our lives and be divided? The most important thing is that we want as human beings is to be connected with each other. And we can't do this if we're constantly judging and ostracizing people because of superficial means or because of what they believe is not in alignment with what we believe. And we need to have an open, honest discussion, and an open, honest discussion where we're trying to find reason and not emotional, irrational, illogical arguments. And for those, some of you will get this video, some of you will disagree, and that's fine. But it's if we are reactive and emotional and prejudicial because of discounting someone, oh, you're a white male, your opinion doesn't count. Isn't that the very thing they're trying to avoid? Racism. That's racism. That's prejudice. Oh, people can't be prejudiced or racist against white people. Give me a break. There's a lot of positions of power that people of color and minorities have. How are you going to tell me that they can't exert that power and be prejudicial? It's already happening in the way hiring is done. Now they discriminate against white people. And these I'm talking about politics right now, which is something I try not to get too deep in the weeds in my channel. But I want to draw the parallel in our personal lives that there are people that no matter what you say, they will disagree with you. that you can't win them over. They don't want to be won over because they feed off of the controversy or the disagreement or your eagerness to get their approval. It's a power play. Hey, if I criticize what you're saying or if I put you down, then and you people please me or you try to justify yourself, you're now under my control. Remember, that's what I said. Control, power, and money. That's what everything really boils down to when you talk about politics or when you talk about like the social climate today in the world, the dysfunctional social climate. And so how do you deal with a contrarian? Someone that will might even agree with you and they always have a but or however. Always just regularly will say, well, I agree with you, but I agree with you. However, it's like, you know what? I think you're a smart person. However, or I think you're good looking, but it discounts the compliment or what we agree with. And that's not their true intention. Their true intention is when it's a pattern. Now, if it happens once or twice, that's not a big deal. But when you start seeing a pattern, their true intention is they feed off of being right and you being wrong. And we don't want to give them that fuel that they feed off because then they just come back for more. And I have some clients, a small number of clients that I've dealt with, and that I have had some incredibly challenging clients that I've had or dealt with. And almost their life is dysfunctional, their life is chaotic, they're not happy, they complain all the time, and they will all give them a plan. Okay, here's what we're going to do to improve the quality of your life. Here's what we'll do to solve a lot of the issues that you're facing, whether it's financial issues, whether it's relationship issues, whether it's spiritual issues, social issues, and they will disagree with just about everything I say. And they will even attack me. Well, why can't you be like this? Or why can't you be like that? Or why can't you just feed in to my own rationalization and excuse making for my dysfunction and unhappiness? It's incredible. But it's if you recognize where they're coming from, they don't want to change. They don't want to look in the mirror. They don't want to have someone speak truthfully to them. What they want is someone that will feed into their pity party and will justify their excuses. And I get some clients who have come from therapy, and that's what they tell me. A lot of their therapy, and even when I've been in therapy, a lot of the therapy is passive and agreeing with a person's worldview that disempowers them. And that's really the crux of this video is when we start identifying with superficial, shallow means, we are at the whim of people that want to blow us, that want to push us, that want to manipulate us, that want to control us. And we don't want, not on this channel, not when I'm coaching clients. Our focus is on empowerment and teaching a child that the color of your skin will make life super hard for you to succeed is making the child a victim and feeding into what they're trying to avoid. And that is them not getting ahead. It's all here. Our culture has a problem. Our society has a problem of superficiality and shallow living. And when I am coaching a client, if they're willing to go there, I love to go deep because that's where all the blocks, all the limitations, and all the solutions lay, is when we go deep. But if we keep identifying by our sexual identity, by our religion, by our color skin, by all of these things, we put ourselves in a little tribe. We have an enemy. And if you need an enemy, you become a victim because the enemy holds power over you. And if you, the one that the person, the people that they're making the enemy, if they, I'm not saying not to push back, but if you're pushing back against people that no matter what you say, no matter what the facts are, they are not going to believe you because they don't want to believe you, stop wasting your time, energy, and effort. It's useless. Nothing you can say will convince them. They are going to try to tear you down and tear you apart and demolish you because that's their goal. Then you have to protect yourself. And oftentimes it's just simply disengaging. When I watch a lot of uh, YouTube channels from one side or I try to watch a balance from the left and the right, but I do try to watch ones that are not the mainstream, the CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, where they're just shoveling propaganda down our throats. I am surprised at what the conversation is. We are talking about superficial matters, and we get hooked in to things that really don't matter. And we're debating what is a woman? What is a man? We're debating all kinds of shallow, superficial stuff. And if that's your thing, I'll be, have all the power to you. Go ahead and pursue that. But isn't it much more important to explore and discuss and contemplate spiritual matters? Matters that are going to make a difference in your life, like taking care of your health, getting good sleep, reading good books, eating good food, healthy food, so you live a long life, spiritual matters, getting ourselves to a place where we have a deep sense of inner peace and inner calm, where we're going to spend eternity, what our moral value system is. Please, people, the material world is passing, it's fleeting, it's a vapor. And we spend so much energy of our lives on living life in the shallow end. And so don't get sucked in to advertising, corporations, what's trending now. Develop your inner core so it's strong, so it can stand up to criticism, to disapproval, just like I'm sure this video is going to get. We have to develop resilience. Otherwise, we're not going to speak truth. We're just going to say what's convenient and what we think people want to hear, people that are in our tribe. And we're going to compromise who we are. And we can't look in the mirror and feel good about ourselves. One of the things that comes up in sessions and just in the cultural, psychological zeitgeist is my self esteem. I need to improve my self esteem. That's going to fix me. How can we have, and I don't believe in that anyways, but let's just say that we're true. How can we believe in self esteem when we're phony, when we wear a mask, when we play it safe, when our social interactions are soft because we can't handle telling and speaking the truth to other people? When we speak the truth to other people in order to get their approval and we're not telling them the truth, we are sacrificing them. And when we speak the truth and we know it's going to get pushback and we're going to get judged and people are going to be disappointed or upset, we're sacrificing ourselves. I can't remember where I heard that, but that just really resonated with me when I heard that. And I know in coaching, when I'm coaching clients, I have lost a number of clients just because I'm willing to sacrifice myself and their business and them keeping me as their coach because I care about them. A while back, I had a couple, a married couple, and I could see the dysfunction in the marriage of what was really going on. And I told them the truth. They went batshit crazy on me, angry, yelled at me. I got these long emails how upset they were with me for telling them the truth. Now they disagreed with me, of course, but if you tell someone the truth, oh, excuse me, if you tell someone and it's a lie, why would they get so upset? People only have a visceral, angry reaction when it's something that hits home. That's what they can't handle. People can't handle the truth. Most people. A Few Good Men, great movie. You can't handle the truth. And that's why we people please. I was even watching one congressman, in the United States Congress. It was on Tucker Carlson, and Tucker was asking him, why do so many congressmen just vote with things that they might not even agree with? And he said, it's a club. Even Congress people want to belong. They want to be liked by their peers and obviously by their people back home. But he says, even in Congress, it's like high school. This group sits with this group, another group sits with another group. And he is one of the few people, his name is Thomas Massey, one of the few people that votes his conscience. And there's very rarely do you find people like that speak their conscience, speak their truth, and despite the pushback and the consequences that they're going to get. And now with cancel culture, not only are we canceling people, but we are teaching those that observe people being canceled to not speak up, to bite their tongue, to not say how they're truly feeling. And one of the most, this is from the book No More Mr. Nice Guy by Robert Glover. One of the most dangerous people that you can encounter is a nice guy or even a nice woman, a people pleaser, because you never know how they truly feel and they will explode on you. Just have an angry vomit or a narcissistic explosion. I've had it happen to me when I tell people the truth. And like they just explode on me. And I'm like, what I said doesn't warrant your reaction. What they have learned that if they explode on people, or if we threaten people with cancellation, that they'll shut up. But there are a few people that won't shut up. There are a few people that will speak their mind. And especially in personal relations, what they do is they turn up the volume and they say, oh, you know what? I don't like what this person's saying. I'm going to ratchet up my anger and the intensity of my anger in order, again, control, power, and money, to control them, to have power over them. And so we want to not feed into this behavior. We don't want to live shallow lives. We want to see people that we can ideologically disagree with, but we can have a conversation with. The moment you can't have a conversation with them, or the moment they're perpetually disagreeing with everything you say, don't waste your energy. It's just not worth the time. And you'll thank me for this because when you apply this, you build more confidence, more courage, more boldness, And when you look in the mirror, you like the reflection that's looking back at you. You feel good about yourself. And that, no amount of approval can replace that. The reason people seek approval is because they don't like who they are, and their identity of who they are is extrinsically based, not intrinsic, extrinsic. So when people approve of them, they like temporarily, they feel better about themselves. But is that what we want to measure our life by? The amount of approval we get, or that we stuck to our values, we spoke the truth, and from a place of love and sacrifice, we are willing to communicate with other people. Now, I'm not saying you need to apply this everywhere you go, because in the workplace, you might have a manager who doesn't want to hear the truth. And the unwritten rules are, you do what I say, you don't push back, or you lose your job. And you have to decide if you want to work in a work environment like that. A healthy work environment means you can disagree and you can question your manager. I know it's rare. I understand that. But that's why we want to maybe work for ourselves or work in a company and a culture that fosters that. They had to retrain pilots and co-pilots because it got so bad. uh, Everyone makes mistakes. So pilots would, this, I don't know how long this goes back, but it used to be a co-pilot would never question a pilot. It was considered insubordination, to the point where planes were crashing because of it. And so the airlines had to retrain the pilots and the co-pilots that the co-pilot needs to speak up when he sees something going wrong, and the pilot needs to listen and cannot punish or hold it against the co-pilot. And our relationships and our lives are so much better when we live from a place of honesty, integrity, and truth in our communication. Because if we don't have that, we have a superficial, shallow connection where we're just trying to avoid conflict or rocking the boat. Some of the best things we can do is to rock the boat, is to have a healthy conflict. And this takes practice. So start small. And if you need support, which we all need support, we're social beings, send me an email. Give coaching a try, because it is life changing if you're ready to make that change. And if you're ready to live a life of courage and boldness and adventure and excitement, because the traditional way most people live, it's a slow death. It's a life of mediocrity. It's a life of conformity. And that just doesn't feel good. Emails in the description, consultation free. If you like this video, please comment, subscribe, and consider supporting the channel. There's a PayPal link, even if it's $1. It's really appreciated because it shows that I have support and these videos are resonating with people. Because sometimes I just don't even want to make videos because of how little breadth this video's amount of people it reaches, the amount of comments I get, and it just can be a little bit disheartening because I feel like I'm speaking into the void. And so anything you can do to support the channel, share this video or other videos, means a lot to me. And this is coaching is my full-time career. Been doing it 14 years now. You learn a lot. And man, it really makes life an adventure when we live outside of our comfort zone. Until next time, thanks for watching.